Audi-Sauber is also moving to England by opening a new base to recruit high-profile engineers and close the gap with other Formula One teams as quickly as possible. This decision, made by former Ferrari team principal and current Audi project manager Mattia Binotto, was also taken to address an economic issue, not just a logistical one. For many British engineers, relocating to Hinwil, a small town about 30 kilometers from Zurich, is often a family-related challenge. Additionally, Sauber spends more on staff salaries than other Formula One teams based in the UK and Italy due to Switzerland's high cost of living. For this reason, Audi had requested a budget cap exemption from the FIA starting in 2026, but so far without success. Opening a technical centre in England, specifically in the so-called Midlands Motor Valley, the area between Oxfordshire, Northamptonshire, and Buckinghamshire, in the south-central part of the country, could partially compensate for this economic and logistical disadvantage by attracting higher-profile engineers and technicians. However, Sauber's move is also significant for another reason. Until now, it was the only team, alongside Ferrari, without a UK base. With Mattia Binotto's decision, the Maranello team remains the sole Formula One team without a factory or operational centre in the English Motor Valley. Sauber's recent decision to open a branch in England has therefore brought back into focus a topic that has resurfaced cyclically for the past 40 years. Once the Sauber Motorsport Technology Centre UK is inaugurated, Ferrari will be the only Formula One team without a technological outpost in what is effectively a motor valley. This area, northwest of London, includes locations with names familiar to enthusiasts, such as Brackley, Milton Keynes, Woking, Enston, and Grove. It is estimated that the Formula One sector in this region employs more than 8,000 people, with a high percentage under the age of 40. The market for specialized professionals is particularly dynamic. Beyond the well-known figures familiar to the general public, there are hundreds of professionals who switch teams every year, seizing salary opportunities and continuing their career growth. Sauber's decision confirms the strategic importance of having a branch in the heart of the Formula One world, with Ferrari as the sole exception. Despite multiple name changes, Racing Bulls, formerly Toro Rosso, AlphaTauri, and RB, remains the team closest to Ferrari in terms of operational base. The B team of Red Bull has historically been headquartered in Faenza, Ravenna province, at the former Minardi headquarters, which it took over in 2006. However, strong synergies exist with Red Bull and its Milton Keynes factory, where some components are produced. Racing Bulls began last year to establish a substantial working group in Milton Keynes, within Red Bull's new campus, which will also include a wind tunnel. The team's main headquarters remain in Faenza, but having a branch in England allows access to the specialized job market without necessarily requiring candidates to make a major life decision, such as relocating to another country. Sauber has adopted the same strategy. The exact location of its UK headquarters has not yet been chosen, but the program is underway. Technology has therefore eliminated distances. It is no coincidence that two teams arrived at the same solution within just over a year. The convergence towards this decision has been driven by communication systems that have revolutionized interactions between multiple locations. Almost 40 years ago, Ferrari was forced to open a branch in Guildford, Surrey, to accommodate the demands of John Barnard, the technical mind behind McLaren's triumphs between 1984 and 1986, who had been strongly desired by Enzo Ferrari. The British designer had no intention of relocating to Maranello and managed to secure from the Scuderia a headquarters just 9 miles from McLaren's base, where he had worked for 6 years. However, the early days were far from ideal, with communication issues significantly impacting the work. One of the most curious problems arose when Maranello began producing the first parts of the car designed in Guildford. Technicians noticed that the margins were not in line with John Barnard's well-known meticulous precision. It took time to realize that the drawings, sent via fax, suffered slight scale variations due to transmission methods. Today, such stories bring a smile, as video conferencing, remote access systems, and real-time resource sharing through fiber optics have revolutionized communication, enabling the now common practice of smart working, even with a simple home connection. The center was shut down after some failed projects and John Barnard's subsequent departure from Ferrari. An Italian engineer confirmed that the only thing missing was coffee breaks, and added that in purely work-related terms, it made no difference whether a colleague was sitting at the desk next to them or thousands of kilometers away. If we take the most recent case, namely Sauber, The difficulties encountered in the recruitment campaign necessary to meet Audi's ambitious plans were primarily linked to relocation. Asking an engineer to move their family from England to Switzerland is not the same as offering a job just a few kilometers away. And for those who need to hire experienced personnel, there is only one talent pool to draw from: the British Motor Valley. In this scenario, the cost cap has also become a factor. Last summer, it was Sauber that raised the issue of staff salaries, which are aligned with a cost of living that varies from country to country. There is a significant discrepancy between average Swiss and British wages, and for this reason, the FIA has been asked to introduce a parameter in the financial regulations that would put all teams on an equal footing. Maranello therefore remains the last European stronghold. With Sauber's technological outpost and Haas's fragmented structure, with locations in Italy, England, Germany, and the United States, Ferrari is set to remain the only Formula One team without a branch in the United Kingdom. Haas is the smallest and most cosmopolitan team in F1. Founded by Gene Haas, it is an American team with its headquarters in Kannapolis, North Carolina. However, managing daily operations from such a distance is impractical, so the F1 cars are designed in Banbury, UK, with some components manufactured at the Dallara factory in Verano de Meligari, Italy. In recent years, Haas has also maintained office space within Ferrari's Maranello headquarters. Despite its French origins, Alpine, which took over from Renault in Formula One in 2021, is headquartered in the UK. The team's main factory is in Enstone, previously used by Toleman, Benetton, Lotus, and Renault. Meanwhile, the V6 turbo hybrid power unit is produced in France at the Viry-Châtillon facility. However, from 2026, the Renault Group will no longer supply F1 engines, as the team, under Flavio Briatore's guidance, has secured a customer deal with Mercedes. Ferrari's traumatic past experience in Guildford, which was nicknamed in Maranello the Factory of Excuses, is now a distant memory, but it is not those remnants that make the Italian side an independent entity. The main factory is, of course, in the legendary Maranello, a town of fewer than 20,000 people in Modena province, globally famous as the home of the prancing horse. Here, all Ferrari cars are built, including F1 single-seaters and racing cars for other motorsport competitions. Despite the lack of exceptional results in the last 2 decades, Ferrari can still rely on the allure of the so-called Red Challenge, which works in its favor. When an engineer receives an offer from Maranello, it has a special appeal. It may not be for everyone, but the percentage of those drawn to it still remains high. Over the past year and a half, the recruitment campaign led by Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur has been quite successful. Many engineers from UK-based teams have joined Maranello, with more set to arrive in the coming months. Adrian Newey declined, but in his case, the need to leave England for Italy was just one of several reasons, and certainly not the main one, that led the legendary car designer to turn down the chance to wear red.